What's up, Ragnarok Online players and Ragnarok Zero Global players? So as we know, the launch of Ragnarok Global Zero, Ragnarok Zero Global, Jesus Christ, I am getting tired of saying that in every video. Ragnarok Zero Global. Yeah, but it's on the way, and I thought if you're a market goblin kinda like me in the very first launch, you're gonna have a very good time. And you probably already know what's going on. But if you're not, I thought I would share my kind of ideas on what to do at the beginning of the market, or at the beginning of the game where there is no market yet, rather, and no economy, so that you can make a lot of zeny in Ragnarok Zero Global as we start, as we go, and then you can afford all your stuff. So here's the thing, my favorite period of, say, launches is the very first month, usually, right? And everybody has their own ideas why is that, right? But for them, of course. But for me, is that there's no economy yet. And everything is so funky and wonky. Nobody knows what anything is gonna be worth. Nobody really knows how much to charge for things. People kind of have an idea of what's useful, what not. But with Ragnarok Zero Global, people might have a twisted idea, unfortunately, because, well, the game is kind of a little bit different than your regular Ragnarok Online that we're used to, because it's a bit of a different game. And most people will be prioritizing leveling up, which means they will be spending all their zeny on potions and flywings, and not really on cards and useful gear and garments and weapons and all of that, right? There will be people who will, you know, buy an occasional weapon here and there, and that's about it. But for the most part, everybody will be just blowing their money on potions, and that means that they will be needing more of that money to keep on with their leveling grind. There's so many people already talking about on Discord about the level 99 race. First of all, we're not gonna be like releasing with level 99 for sure, probably level 50 or 60. But what they mean is basically just racing as fast as they can to reach the maximum level, which is fun in itself, but I prefer to play the market a little bit in the very first months. So as I said in my previous video, there are things that you should be looking out for in terms of items, and today I want to talk about how can we make the most amount of zeny during that period. And for the record, I will not be talking about like launching 100 accounts at the same time and just having them auto hunt. That is a viable strategy, but like, do you wanna pay like €1,000 just to like run 100 accounts? Yeah, that's not gonna work, right? So obviously, the very first thing you can do is be a discount NPC, right? Most people do that, most people know that. That's like the lowest hanging fruit. You just buy cheese to recover SP from the NPC in Frontera or Geffen, and you buy potions, you buy flywings with your discount on your merchant, and you set up your vend, and there you go, right? People buying from you instead of from the NPC because it's gonna be a little bit cheaper. But that's not very sustainable. You're gonna have to have an alternate account for this that is vending all the time and resupplying, so already that kind of just causes a lot of issues in itself. It's not gonna be the super cool strategy. I don't recommend doing it, but there will be people doing it, especially with cheese probably. What I do recommend is doing stuff like this. When somebody drops an incredibly well-rolled item within the first week that they don't necessarily need, like two-handed sword. I have two examples over here, but they could be better, right? The two-handed sword with attack plus over 25, with flee on it or critical on it, ignore physical damage of a useful race, or any useful armor with 2 flat HP rolls above 250, and then probably something else on it, ideally flee again. If they will be not using it, then it's a very good idea to just whisper them and be like, hey, I'm gonna give you like 20k for it, or I'm gonna give you like 50k. You'll be surprised in how many cases people will actually agree, because they have no use for the armor right now. Nobody else is gonna pay them like 500k zeny for it because nobody has it, and they themselves need the zeny, need the money to buy their red potions, to buy their flywings, to buy whatever else, right? So as long as you can keep up this sort of thing where you have like 20-30k zeny just kind of in the pocket, always to kind of go and snipe a deal whenever somebody like links an item in chat, like, hey, look what I dropped, yo, that's so cool, right? You immediately whisper them, I'll give you this and this amount of zeny. You know, probably most of the time they will not agree, but the people who do, just be happy, take the deal, put the item in storage, keep it there as in quote-unquote investment for like a week from now, you know, because you're gonna be able to resell this 2, 3, sometimes 4 times the value within a week because of the inflation that's gonna be going on, especially for the people that will be finally max level and they will finally start making zeny, right? Next, you just make a character, or just with your any really character that you have zeny on, just go around the cities and yell buying rough Oridecan 1k each, right? Or buying rough Elunium 1k each, something that's useful as a refining material. Don't buy Fracon or MVD Tracon, those are NPC items. But the Oridecan and the Elunium definitely worth buying. Not many people will be refining at the very first week. Some will be, for sure. But many people will just want to get the zeny just so they can buy potions and all that stuff. So there will be people willing to spend to sell you those items for cheap. Instead of selling them to an NPC, they will sell them to you gladly. So that's definitely very viable strategy to kind of invest your zeny instead of keeping it. And on the same note, there will be people who will find kind of useful cards, and they might be selling them, vending them. What I mean on this slide is that you can just walk around the Prontera vending area. By the way, we're gonna have a dedicated vending area, and you just walk around there and see whatever people are selling. If there's something kind of cheap to be sniped, just snipe it, as long as as long as it's not something obvious like a Bigfoot card, because there will be so many Bigfoot cards you will not know what to do with them. But like something useful like a pupa card being sold for 100,000 zeny, because some people might do that, and occasionally those sort of deals pop up, and you just buy it, you keep it there, you keep it in your storage for a week, 2, maybe 3, and then sell it for 5 times the value, right? It's not hard. It's an easy market play. So by the end of like your first week, well, maybe 2 weeks, really, you should probably have a decently diversified storage between like useful cards that you bought for cheap and useful cards that you farmed yourself. Don't forget about farming. You should have a diversified, I want to say portfolio, but it's not a portfolio. But you should have a diversified storage of like armors with HP rolls on them. Like useful armors for every classes are gonna be always in demand. People will be breaking them as well when trying to upgrade them and all of that. And garments, same thing. Refined materials, Oridecans, Aloniums, and very useful weapons, even for second jobs. If not right now useful, they will be useful very soon. And a lot of people will be caught with their, with their pants down, without any weapons, and they will want to buy the weapons as soon as the second job releases. So like two-handed axes are gonna be in demand for blacksmiths. Two-handed swords are gonna be in demand. Katars will be in very high demand. Believe me, there will be plenty of people playing assassins, and we don't really get Katars like leveling through the regular journey, right? So you might wanna snag a couple by farming Martins rather. And then by the end of the month, this will be you. These guys, especially thieves and swordsmen, will be walking around with money in their pocket, like a little bit money in their pocket, because they finally leveled up, they finally managed to stack something, and then you can charge all this good stuff for like 3-4 times the zeny that you've bought it for. And this is gonna yield you a massive profit for the most part. Some of it is not gonna sell, obviously, but if you're gonna like manage to turn around 200% on average on all of these items, it's gonna be definitely worth it, right? It's better than just spending that money on potions and whatnot and just, I don't know, doing silly stuff. If you wanna be a market goblin, that's what I mean. If you guys have your ideas, please leave them in the comments, because I may have forgotten things and I'm just kind of running without a script on this one, because I thought it's more realistic and more like real, so to speak, like more down to earth sort of talk without a script. And hopefully this will be you. Maybe with a different class. Leave the rogue to me, I'm gonna be the rogue. Or an assassin, haven't decided yet. But definitely making a merchant. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, you should definitely spend all your zeny. Do not stack zeny, because zeny is gonna lose value. People will be, at very first, zeny will be very valuable the first 2 weeks, because people will be spending a lot of it on potions and whatnot, and cheese and fly wings. But as they level up and as their demand for consumables decreases, there will be more zeny flowing into the market, and eventually that your, I don't know, 200,000 zeny that you farmed is not gonna be able to purchase you anything useful, and it's gonna be kind of worthless. So yeah, basic economics, mates. Thank you for watching, and leave your ideas in the comments, because I am definitely always looking forward to discussing like market ideas and like forming shady clubs with people, like, hey, we're gonna buy out every single pupa card on the market for the first month, or some silly stuff like that. It's just fun to do it in the game, just like in real life, kind of. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.